and to understand the nature of this fatal malady. What does it take? And for some of us, it takes a long, hard road where we die because of addiction, never getting to the place of, I completely surrender, I submit to anything to get me well. That's what's so frightening about this illness.
Right.
I've been in the treatment center business a long time, and I've been sober a long time, and I've seen the wreckage of addiction over and over and over again. When we say it's a fatal illness, as I said at the opening, that's putting it mildly because of the people we take with us. Lives are lost because of this. And the alcoholic has this mind that says, go back and do it once more. It'll be okay. And the lifestyle we live in that cycle of addiction becomes reality. Not paying rent, being unemployable, embezzling money from our employers, lying, cheating, stealing, all the things to keep the drunk going becomes reality. That's when it really gets frightening.
Yeah.
Where folks who are going about living what we would call a normal way of living, going to work, taking care of their family, bringing up children, going back to school, that seems like something that's very foreign. They're the ones who aren't operating properly. I'm the one who's doing what I need to do, and all we're doing is supporting our addiction and going to any lengths to keep the addiction going. And it's truly, I have found from my own experience and countless others, that the only remedy are not external conditions. The only remedy is an internal shift in consciousness, which is God. Most of us say, well, when I get the right relationship, when I make enough money, when I get the right job, always looking to the future, that some sort of external condition will be a remedy for this internal illness called addiction or alcoholism, and that's a lie. It's delusional. The only remedy is having a spiritual path, getting one with God, experience a power greater than ourselves, a truly spiritual life, being immersed in spiritual principles. And at my facility, Origins, that's one of the main things we're doing for clients. Unlike any other treatment center, we're having them immersed in spiritual principles so they can get right, spiritually, and never visit a treatment center again unless they're invited back to give a talk on how they got recovered from their addiction.
Peter,
I don't even submit. Go ahead.
Are you a Christian? Are you a Christian? Like Teen Challenge? Are you a Christian-based recovery center?
Spiritual-based.
Spiritual-based.
Spiritual-based. Yes.
Okay. I'd like to ask some questions, if you don't mind. What I'd like to do is ask some questions about the facility. I just want to let you know, when we go on break, we'll go on break for about 2 or 3 minutes, and we're going to be having your virtual tour. During that break, your virtual tour is going to be going through. And so everybody's going to be able to see your beautiful facility. I was really impressed when I was looking at the website and everything that you got going for you. You guys got to be really proud.
Well, we're and very grateful. We share the same vision, and watching it come to fruition is wonderful. I've tried to create what I like to call a Zen-like atmosphere here, where these men come in from different walks of life, all suffering from alcoholism and drug addiction, into or onto the Origins campus, and immediately experience peace, ease, and comfort. Just by looking around and walking around the property.
Exactly. Is your facility a nonprofit?
No.
No, it's not? Okay. That was just, I didn't notice that in your website, and I wanted to ask that question. And actually, this is your flagship is in South Padre Island. Do you have another facility? I was reading something about in New York, or is that going to be a facility of the future?
We have property up in South Salem, Westchester County, New York, on about 5.5 acres of land.
Wow.
And we're transitioning right now from this mansion to another recovery center. And we're looking at a date sometime November to be ready to take clients up in Westchester, New York, and it's absolutely beautiful up there. Down here on South Padre is we're a block away from the beach. It's a beach community. It's got a Caribbean feel to it. It's absolutely beautiful down here, and up in Westchester. It's 5.5 acres, mansion set on 5.5 acres of land. It's absolutely beautiful, very residential, a quiet little town, very anonymous.
How are they receiving you?
Mm-hmm.
How are they receiving you up there? A lot of communities kind of look down on recovery centers. How are they receiving you up there?
Down here on South Padre, we've met with our chief of police, we've met with the mayor, we've met with some of the dignitaries in town, have all embraced us. We've met with a lot of the merchants in town. It's a small town, so word got around real quick that we were here, and very, very warm reception, very welcoming to us. So it's been real nice. And our clients, we take them out to AA meetings. We started a CA meeting in town, and our clients go out like sober gentlemen, and the community sees that. We're also involved with some of the community affairs. There's walk for there's different charities that go on. Breast cancer awareness walk will be involved with that.
Wow, yeah, that's
some
good.
of the other community affairs.
Oh, yeah.
So we're involved with that, giving back.
That's great. What is meant by recovery philosophy? I picked up a little bit off your website, but go ahead.
Well, my experience in treating addicts and alcoholics in the treatment center field, I was so appalled and at one point that I really thought about leaving the business, and at one point I did. I began working with Marinelli Consultants, my own consulting business, and try to make a difference that way before the folks from Origins and I got together. And what goes on in treatment centers are very, put as blunt as I can and honest as I can be here. We're housing clients. They come in for 21 or 28 days. Insurance companies are usually paying the bill, which means they're going to determine how long an addict or an alcoholic ought to be in treatment, which is a bad formula. And so they'll go into treatment for 21, if maybe 28 days, and they're talked. They learn about addiction from a textbook standpoint. They're told about meetings to go to. They have a lot of therapeutic information that goes on, but there's very little done in the way of getting a guy or woman well on a spiritual path.
So that's
what's not being done.
That's what sets you apart then from a lot of others, and you're trying to say.
Well, it's one of the main ingredients that sets us apart among others. We have a staff that's living a 12-step philosophy, immersed in their own life and spiritual principles, involved very much in their own recovery, and we've taken that here so these men can get and experience a spiritual way of living, complete 100% immersion in spiritual disciplines, spiritual principles, to make these guys new, make these clients new.
Right.
The person who walks into Origins needs to be made new by the time they're discharged. And what we also do is, when they are ready for discharge, we have a fantastic continuing care component. We'll get them connected with AA or CA or NA members in their hometown to kind of bridge the gap when they do go home, and lots of following up with our continuing care program, as well as the families who are involved in the recovery of their own spiritual malady while their loved one is with us.
How many days stay does the client normally go? I mean, what's your minimum and your maximum so the people out there know.